Konnichiwa Mina, and after months of waiting, it is finally time for week 1 of the 2018 DCFL season. I and the 7 other members of this league have been waiting impatiently for this day to come as we finally get week 1 underway. As here are the current standings right now as we get ready for the first week. And when it comes to tiebreakers, like I said earlier in the last video, there are 18 games and everyone plays each other at least twice, one at home and one away. And when it comes to tiebreakers, there's just 4. Head-to-head, strength of victory, point differential, and then finally a coin toss. So those are the tiebreakers for this year. As of course, right now, all the teams are in alphabetical order as we begin to simulate week 1. As of course, we now take a look at the week 1 schedule. If you all remember from the second video, I revealed the schedule. And first up would be my Baltimore Charm going up against Anthony's New York Gangsters. And then it'll be Mayumi's Seattle Tenyo visiting Jake's Charlotte Bobcats. Then it'll be Ahmad's Jacksonville Scouts versus Chase's Chicago Staleys. Then it'll be Aaron's Indianapolis Rapid Stallions at Jake's Pittsburgh Power. And then Matthew's both teams, the Oakland Pillagers at the Phoenix Devils, will go up against each other. So we get the first week underway as the Baltimore Charm visit the New York Gangsters. How about that, me and Anthony going up against each other, since we still have yet to get our first original league together yet. As we kick off the first game of the inaugural season of the DCFL, and it was a doozy, as the Gangsters would pull off a comeback in the fourth quarter to win 22-21, scoring a last-second field goal with just less than a minute remaining to get the victory. Damn it, my team had the lead big time going into the fourth quarter, and our defense blew it. That is not a good start to the season. But since the point differential is a huge tiebreaker possibly, losing only by 1 point is actually very, very good in terms of the tiebreakers, because if you want to get over a tiebreaker, you're probably going to need to get as many blowouts as possible. So Anthony's Gangsters off to a good start, winning their first game, as my team is off to an 0-1 start. Then after that, it is Mayumi's Seattle Tenyo visiting Jake's Charlotte Bobcats, kind of like a reference, as Mayumi mentioned, to like the Seahawks and Panthers and their rivalry throughout the decade so far, as Mayumi has the best defense in the league, and Jake's both teams are going to be near the bottom of the league in terms of overalls, but hoping to be able to do something good this year. But the Seattle Tenyo will pull it out 26-21, as after a big 13-0 lead, the Bobcats turned it around to take the lead going into the fourth quarter, but the Tenyo, ended up pulling out, scoring 13 unanswered points going into the fourth quarter, with the Bobcats getting a garbage time touchdown, as the Tenyo win by 5 points. That's a lot better than what Anthony did, so the Tenyo right now have the lead in the conference. After that, it's a big showdown, as it's the Jacksonville Scouts visiting the Chicago Staleys, with Jacksonville having the number 1 offense in the league, but the worst defense, so very imbalanced. That could hurt them, as going up against the Staleys, who are the best team in the league overall-wise, very balanced. This could be interesting. Maybe this could be a championship preview, perhaps. But if it was, it would be ugly, as the Staleys win 27-13, completely shutting down Jacksonville's offense to only 13 points. And surprisingly, the offense for Jacksonville was the problem for this game, not their defense, as their defense did an okay job. Their offense just couldn't get really anything going against this strong Staleys defense. And with that 14-point victory, it's now the Staleys that have the lead in the conference for right now. But we still got 2 more games remaining. After that is the Indianapolis Rapid Stallions visiting the Pittsburgh Power, as Aaron's team did a trade-off in the offseason, hoping to get an offensive juggernaut going to challenge the Scout, with the Power hoping to do something this year, but their team is just not looking as good, just like the Bobcats. And the Rapid Stallions would get the win 30-23, as they dominated big time with a 23-9 lead going to halftime. Pittsburgh tried to make the comeback, but they just couldn't pull it off, as Indianapolis had the lead the entire game and was in no danger of losing their lead. a pretty dominant victory, and with that win by 7 points, that puts Indianapolis right now in the second place behind Chicago in the conference standings. And the final game of the week, it's all Matthews teams, as it's the Oakland Pillagers visiting the Phoenix Devils, as both teams are near the bottom of the leagues in terms of overalls. So these could be the basement dwellers, but it's kind of interesting to see which one of them will be off to a nice 1-0 start perhaps. But to the shock of everyone, Phoenix not only would win, but win 37-10, dominating Oakland completely. This was completely out of nowhere, as Phoenix is the worst team in the league, and they won in a blowout. Oh my god, as Oakland had so many turnovers in this game, and they completely shut down Phoenix's deep offense. But thanks to those turnovers, they got them at short range to get touchdowns and field goals and such. And with that dominant 27th victory, the weak Phoenix Devils actually lead the league right now in the standings. And with that, week 1 is in the books, as here is the stand so far. As remember, there are only 4 playoff teams, with the 4th seed visiting the number 1 seed, the 3rd seed visiting the number 2 seed, and whoever wins those 2 playoff games will meet each other in Arrowhead Stadium for the title. As right now, it's Phoenix with the number 1 seed, with Chicago number 2, Indianapolis number 3, Seattle number 4. Those are the playoff teams, with New York being the odd one out right now. And the teams without a win so far is Baltimore at number 6, Charlotte at number 7, then Pittsburgh at number 8, Jacksonville at number 9, and Oakland at last place at number 10. The first week of the season is going to matter mostly about the point differential the first bunch of weeks, so as long as you keep blowing out, you're going to be in a very good position to make the playoffs. And we finish off the video by looking at the week 2 schedule for DCFL. It would first up be the Chicago Staleys visiting the Baltimore Charm. Oh boy, that's going to be a tough one for me. Oh god. And then it's the Charlotte Bobcats visiting the Indianapolis Rapid Stallions. Aaron took down one of Jake's teams, now he's going to take down the other one next week. And then it's the Phoenix Devils visiting the Jacksonville Scouts. Oh boy, that's going to be an interesting one. Will that be like a one-time thing for Phoenix, or could this be like one of those teams that all of a sudden everyone thought was going to be shit actually does good? And it's the Pittsburgh Power at the New York Gangsters. And we finished off with the Oakland Pillagers at the Seattle Tenyo. And with that, week 1 of the 2018 DCFL season is in the books. I can't wait for week 2, and tune in for that very soon.